everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to do an introduction video for the van. Work in progress that's been going on for the last, I don't know, must be 4 months, 5, maybe it could be actually 6 months. This van has been off the road. I should start with, okay, so as you probably seen in my YouTube channel, last summer I done a video on the van when I done the inside of it up, the interior, and I done a full restore to the paintwork, and I put graphics on it for my YouTube channel to promote it. And as you can see, the van is currently covered in dust. It's not overspray, it's powder coating and stuff, because I've been powder coating stuff in the garage and the van's been sitting here. The van is now currently finished. I'm waiting on spacers to come for the wheels, the alloys. So I've upgraded the wheels in the van to alloys. They're now not the hubcaps no more. So I'm going to now give a wee brief introduction on what this video is going to be about. So it's going to be a two-part or a three-part video on the entire process of doing up the van. So the van was in worse state than I thought it was. Last summer I mentioned about doing up the sills. Well, I had to do up more in the sills. I had to do up all around the bulk area, all had to be all plated again. Around the strut tops, strut members, everything was all cut out and replaced. Not only was it cut out and replaced, it was all cut out and replaced. And so many rot was completely removed from the van itself, and the likes of everything was also replaced to stainless. So the entire sill up the side of the van, the inner sill and the external sill were replaced. The outer sill obviously was an aftermarket part that's made in Poland. It's just mild steel, it's coated with a zinc coating, so it's less liable to rust. So also inside the sills, I have the sills all painted to immaculate, like it's painted with a Nixon primer and a 2-pack primer and a 2-pack paint to keep it from moisture from eating its way out from the inside out. So also the inner sills are completely fabricated in stainless. The reason I use stainless, as I will talk about in the video. So I have a bunch of video clips made from when I started this van. I think it might have been, let me see, was it August? Or it might have been earlier than that now. It might have been, I don't know, it might have been July. I'll look at the properties and the photos at the end, and at the end of this video, and I will, or when I'm uploading this video, I think it's 6 months, I'm not actually sure, but it's a long time. I've had a lot to deal with, so the van's been put on hold. So I'm now going to move on, right, to the sills. So I have video clips, as I mentioned, already made for the van. Doing up the sills, doing up underneath the van, doing up around the strut members. All arms are all painted, some of them are powder coated. All struts are brand new. Sacks, what do you call that, Meg? S-A-C-H-S. They're all replaced to gas struts. They're all brand new springs. What else have I done there? New discs, new pads, new springs, new seals in the calipers. All the calipers are powder coated. All done up. So they're powder coated, blasted and then powder coated. What else we've done? All the runners in the van, as I mentioned, the sills, but the runners sitting on the sills are all blasted and powder coated in my oven that I built in the channel. What else? So the Momo steering wheel now in the van, off an Integra Type R. I made the boss for the steering wheel. I'm going to do a wee video on that too. It's not actually done yet, but it's nearly complete. there's a lot of work done, and the van's now sitting immaculate. I was going to scrap the van because it nearly broke my heart when I looked at it, so I cut the van in bits, and obviously, because of my everything needs to be perfect, I just don't weld patches over the top of things. I completely remove it right down. So basically I removed the whole sill, so I was left with nothing halfway up the van. You'll see in the everything was cut out, inner and outer. So basically I had no arch around the back wheels. That's all replaced in stainless. There's no patches welded over the top of rot or anything like that. That's all completely removed and replaced and flanged, done properly. TIG welded down the arch. I'm going to go on to intense detail demonstrating this and the photos at the end. What else we have done? There's just so much, but you will see in the video clips the serious amount of work I went into. And around here, so basically when I started cutting this van in bits, it probably took about 2 days. There was nothing left at the top of the strut members. The top, the chassis at the top, and it was basically the strut tops welded to the body itself. Contamination, pure rust. So basically it was really bad, and so what I done is I have all new strut tops, and everything's all powder coated. Even the brand new stuff, because they come out of the factory with a wee skift of paint on it, or nothing. I think there was nothing on it actually now. So we're going to move on now and start with the sills, and then we're going to move on the second part of this video, which will come in a week's time, and the third part will be all cosmetic, like stuff like runners, doing up the runners, powder coating the calipers, building the boss for the steering wheel. What else? There's so much I'm missing. All the drums in the back's replaced brand new, and they're powder coated too. Wheel drums, and I don't know what else. The subframe came from Spain because the one on it was rotten. I ordered one off eBay. So basically I have 3 subframes. I have the old one, I have the one off eBay that came rotten, and I couldn't believe it they sent me. It was just like a bag of rust when you shaked it. The one came from Spain, was immaculate, and you will see the photos. All the drives, CVEMs, everything's replaced, brand new. The only thing's not touched in the van now is the engine and gearbox. Obviously the seats are changed to Del Sol Honda seats. And hopefully in the part 3 of this video you will see the van sitting in pristine condition, like polished again. I'm also putting more graphics on it to promote my Facebook channel for my projects that will come in the future. So I hope you enjoy the video. So now there's going to be running clips, and then there will be a bunch of photos. I know there's a few people that are looking for this video to see the work I put into the van, because obviously I've run overboard again. I hope you enjoy the video, and thank you. Okay, so a couple of pictures to demonstrate what the van looked like before I done all the work. You can see the sills here on the passenger side are very blistery, there are a lot of rot around them, and the rear arch themselves. The driver's side is also full of fillers, as can be seen there in the photos. Okay, so at this point I am cutting the sheet into 6 pieces for the inner sills. The limb will be formed and folded. Okay, first things first. I've already done a demonstration of this van that promotes my YouTube channel. So first things first, the whole handling. I'm going to cry looking at it. It's not that bad. Right. So what I have started doing here, this van, all the graphics was put on the van and stuff, and I thought it was okay, a wee bit of rot in the sills, but I'm not fussy and over the top. I don't like rust at all, surface rust, so, or even, well, it's not so much surface rust, it's in between rot and surface rust, so I just cut it all out, the inner sill, and the outer sill, and this inner member goes down between the two sills, so I have to replace the whole lot. As you can see here, I have already made brand new jacking points. They're all made and fabricated, nothing special, just to get the thing rolling, you know. So what I'll be basically doing is I'll be spot welding the external sills onto here and the inner sills. So when the MOT guys go to jack it, they'll be jacking at a strong point up this cross member here now. So this is all finished. The 4 jacking points is all done the same. As you can see, there's another one. It's all made out of stainless because I don't have any mild steel. So as you can see here, there's another hole cut out of the bottom here because there's a wee bit of rat on it. But the rest of the van is all good enough, so I think it's worth doing it. You know, the van is actually good below the rest of it, you know, strangely enough. It's just the sills seem to go in these vans. A wee demonstration here of the back, the inner sill. So you can't really see, it's dark, but the saw, I have plenty to weld here, there's no rot at all. I have cut the 2 sills up quite high, inner and outer. So that's basically it. Just a wee quick update to show you what I'm doing. I will keep track of this progress of this van right through the week. I have been working flat out at my research every hour of the day to 12 o'clock at night, and I have made good progress in that, so I'm now deciding to come out and work at this van. I don't like working in the rain, even though I'm in the tent, but still. So this is what I have cut out of cut off the van, the sills. As you can see, they're in terrible shape. Make me sick looking at it. That's why I make everything in stainless, because I hate rust. I just hate it so much. The sills I'm putting on the van are actually, I'm making them out of stainless. I will show you here. So these is the sills that I have started making. 3 of them will be spot welded together and they'll be folded. I will keep track of everything I do, and I might do a video on it before I put up the other projects that I need the sunlight for. But at the meantime, the weather is, as you can see, it's raining out there, so there'll be a wee delay on the other projects. And so this video is really just to say that the other projects are coming, and do look forward to them because they are unique. And that's really it. Okay, wait till you see this. My friends. Hi. Okay. So we're outside now, and I'm going to demonstrate what I have been doing. Well, 2 weeks ago, until the rain came. So this is the rubbish that has come off my van. As you can see, it's been fixed before. There's actually a patch in the sill there. You can see the weld on the inside. Quite horrible. Clearly why I do everything in stainless. I hate rust. So I'm now going to go and look at the van. So that's all, both sills, inner and outer, cut off the van. Inner wasn't too bad, but still had rot in the bottom of it, rust. So there's the inner sill there. This part's the inner sill. You can see the rust at the bottom of it. So there's no point me putting new sills on the van. The outer sills to be putting against the inner sill. Rust. Terrible. So what I done is I just removed the whole lot, inner and outer. Going to go on here to the van. So if you've watched my last video on my YouTube channel, you would see that this van has been used for, well, it's not used at all, it's just done up. And when I done it up, I thought the sills weren't too bad, you know, but you know, I was expecting them to be bad, but the rest of the van looked really good. So there's 2 brand new sills, came from Poland. Aftermarket parts, I have them already cut and everything ready to go on, because they obviously don't fit at all. So I'm going to go on to the van now. So to give a wee update on what I've been doing and why there's delays. Well, delays is coming because of this weather. Look, it's just raining all the time, and that's the reason I've been working so hard on my research, my PhD. So I'm going to go on here now and give a wee quick demonstration to this van. So these vans usually rust in the sills. Mostly the cross members all underneath them are really immaculate. Well, you know, that's not bad, but from here everywhere else right up, the vans is really good below. I seen this when I bought this van, that's why I done the graphics on it. I knew the sills were, you know, rottish and fixed before, but I just thought about putting 2 new ones on, but I didn't think I was going to go this far. So what I done, I've removed the inner sill and the outer one, and I have completely replaced the jacking points and fabricated new ones out of stainless steel. The reason I use stainless steel, so you hear me talking about stainless steel in the van, it's all I've got, because all my projects are built out of stainless. So that's obviously welded with a mag right enough, so ordinary my style. So this is stainless 3mm plate for the jacking point. The jacking points were not rotten, but they were, you know, there was a lot of rubbish rot around them. So what I've done is I've removed the whole lot, start again. And you can see here in this inner cross member, this is the only bit in the whole van, it probably is the worst. So I cut the whole out here. Wasn't rotten, but it was, you know, piles of surface. So on the inner panel here, I want it nice and smooth. Can't do nothing with this. So I'm going to blast this before I put the patch on. So the new sill we got on here, but if I'm putting a new sill on here, obviously you need a jacking point again. So I have made 4 brand new jacking points, as I've mentioned here. So I'm doing that. You need you also need an inner sill, and there's clearly no inner sill there because I have it cut off about 3 inches down, 3 inches up even. I am making them out of a stainless steel sheet. The reason I'm making them out of stainless steel sheet is because I have tried and tried and tried to get steel in the northwest here, and it's extremely difficult from the companies. Clearly because I used to work at the whole lot of them, so they don't like selling me anything, to be honest. So just the type of them, rare. So I went further afield to Alco in Belfast, Mollusk Inc, and I work with them for all my projects, and they've been really good. So I bought a stainless sheet cheaper than I could buy a sheet of steel here. Like, it's shocking. The stainless sheet I used is, I'm going to show you here now. So I'm just going to go around the other side and give a wee quick show the exact same thing. So I have removed the sills right up to the upper spot welds, nice and neat with the spot weld bit. This is only an update video. I'm not going to show the progress. I'm going to do another video in a week's time, maybe, to show the progress I have made. So this is the passenger side. So same thing again. I've removed the sills right up to the door entry there, the back and the front. You can see here there's no rot at all left in the van. I have cut it all out. There's no sense me putting on new sills and not removing the rot at the back too. So you can see here it's immaculate now. The whole way along, there's, you know, I've got nice clean area to weld to. And that's really it. So there's the jacking point at the back made, and there's the other one over under. As I say, as you look at this van here, you can see that the cross members is all good and done inside of the van. So it's not worth it to other people, but to me, maybe, since the graphic is on it now and the carpet's on the inside it. So this is the new jacking points made. Nothing special. Quite rough really. Stainless steel. You not see it when the sills is on it. So now we're going to go and look at the sills I've been making. So again, this is only an update video to show you the progress I'm making. It's not so much showing off any skills or anything like that. It's just to show what I've been doing. Well, 2 weeks ago, and why there's delays in my projects. So these this material here is actually stainless sheet, 0.9mm. I am going to fold all the sills. This is for the inner sills. This is not. So these are spot welded onto the new outer sills you seen in the van there. The reason they're cut small, not one length, is because my folder, my metal worker there only folds 700mm. No, I think it's longer than 700, but I cut them to 700. So each the six here, split them in 2, so 3 will be welded together, like so. And they'll be spot welded together, nice and neat. They'll be flanged. I will do a video on this. I'll keep record of everything. But until then, this video was only for demonstration of what I've been doing, or an update. So that's it. Okay everyone, the second day in, I'm working at the van. I have the sills As you can see here, if I get under, I have the sills complete, ready for welding, seam welding. So they are stainless steel. I will go around the other side with more light. Hold on, I'll show you on the side first. So here is the sills that I have folded. They are now stainless steel. It's quite dark in this tent, but it's not too bad. So you can see it's all spot welded, nice and neat, to the external sill. Here. So you can see the nice spot welds all the way down. So on behind these spot welds I also have epoxy resin weld through. You can see it sort of hanging down there in places. There. So I'm ready now to weld this part up somehow. So I'll shape this in and I will take pictures throughout. Rather than holding the camera, because I don't want to destroy my camera. It's for my projects. Let's go around this side. So here we are again. So we have this new sill. I also have to fix this part now where it was a wee bit rusty at the bottom of this rear quarter panel, or rear arch. This sill is also complete. You can see the spot welds going the whole way down to the bottom, to the front. So it's nice and neat. It's like a factory job. These here is welded just with the MIG. There's also epoxy resin behind them. So this is it. Ready to be primed after I sand it and finish this part first. The camera's way blurry. So finish this part and we will move on. So we'll take pictures throughout. Okay everyone. So I need to bolt up this rear end where I put all the rock out, as can be seen. So first things first, I have made a template literally a couple of minutes ago. So basically that will fit in and it will be spot welded in with these two tabs here, 1, 2. They'll be spot welded to the sill itself, and let me see if I can sit them nice and neat, like so. Oh, like that. And then we'll work on bolting this outer panel up then, outer skin, all using stainless, basically because that's all I have, that's all I've got at the minute. It might be hard to hear me here because I have a mask on. Hold on. So as I say, when this is spot or welded into place and spot welded to the sill, I then will work on this outer skin and around this side. A lot of work. Okay, so just copying the cardboard template at this stage. So if you look at the images at the end, you will see there are multiple plates made like this for the sill caps, passenger and driver side. Beautiful. So what we want here is this template sits in the van passenger side like this. We want these tabs bent round for spot welding to the sill, as you can see here, and we also want this tab bent round in sort of not a straight line but more narrow this end and a bigger radius at this end and a tight radius at this end, so we can spot weld to the exterior panel that we are going to build later. So we're now going to fold this template, or this piece of steel, sorry, that I just cut there now, like so. So first things first, I better do this tab first. I need to make sure I don't make a mess of it now, because this is the first time I've ever videoed something actually been done out of all my projects, strangely enough. So we have this tab now at 90 degrees. We now will work on this other one, but to do that we're going to need to remove some of these formers at the top. So we're going to do this one first. So we're going to just keep stepping this one. With multiple angles, multiple steps even, right round. So like so. So what I have done here is I have kept the V in this position, and I've stepped it out every 5-10 mil, and to leave you a big radius at this end and a tight radius at this end. So that's it done, except for this tab. To do that tab, I'm going to pull it up with a set of vice grips because I don't want to be taking out these formers just to do that. So that's it. Okay everyone, so a little video clip halfway through the process of doing up this van. So as you've seen in the photo, you will see in the photos at the end, this van was completely sandblasted. Got most sides of her, so the 3 front sides, the whole side of her was cut out, so it's all completely replaced, brand new, and inner sill is stainless, as you will see in the images. So just to say before we go any further, so what I use in the bare metal is this Untitled RC 900, which is a rust converter. So they say it turns the steel pure black. Let it dry out for about 6 hours before you put on such a rubber-based stone chip. Untitled, I swear by the Untitled brand. It's much more expensive than cheaper brands that you would buy in your motor factors. So you can buy out of Untitled website. So this RC 900 Untitled too, it is £35 a ton. It's quite expensive. But it would do 2 tons would do the full underside of this van. Spraying everywhere, more or less. But what I am going to do now is I am going to show you the back of the van. I sandblasted it today. It was completely bad at the back, so I have sandblasted this full lip. I'm going to apply the Untitled RC 900 when I get this van fully sandblasted at the back. So I am more or less nearly there. If you look at the pictures at the end of the video, we'll see how bad this van was underneath. It's quite shocking actually. So I have done the sway bar and everything's all sandblasted because it was all pitted or flaky rust. Everywhere you see bare metal here is now sandblasted. It was really bad, to be honest. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover this whole van in bare metal areas on with the RC 900 to convert the rust. You can see the new sills up the van. This van now is immaculate everywhere. There's no holes or, you know. One last thing before we go any further. So on these vans, there is at the rear end there's a box that comes down both sides, and they usually rot away. What I have done is I have completely removed it, and I've got back the nice clean steel cap. It's still closed in, apart from here where the breather used to be on, but I'm going to close this in. There's the wooden floor in the van. Okay, so the other side, just a wee quick demonstration. So you can see here there's no serious rot. You know what's pitted area is here, but I'm going to put the rust converter on it, you know. But the sandblaster is some job. It's very windy today. Oh. So you can see here where I've cut the box away. This box was basically doing nothing. As you will see in the images at the end, folding this nice stainless steel plate and pushing it into this cross section, which is about 6 inch square. The little box one was on here, we came down to about the exhaust height, and it was very, very rotten. But I have cut it all back away up under and removed it because it was terribly rotten. And basically that's it. So I'm going to follow on here now and keep taking pictures as I go. But you can see there the nice new sill, and this is all shaped. You'll see in the pictures at the end. Stainless steel again. This is all handcrafted. So you see at the end of the video for the process of all that, making the wee plates and stuff. So just move over this side. So this is the passenger side here. You can see there's no rot. I've got it all removed. Everything's sandblasted. And there, even this one's pushing the tent, and it's really strong. So let me show you what I'm working on. So what I'm working on is a tent, and it is fixed to the concrete. And if it wasn't fixed, it would be, I don't know, near the 1 miles over London, 10 miles away. It would blow away. But they end up in another field over London. So that's what I'm working in this terrible weather. So I am now going to move on and keep working, get this van finished, because I have projects to do and the van's holding me back. So that's it. Okay, so I'm ready to paint these sills. Have to take the van and the shade, but already see us in here. Huh? Everything's all painted. This cross member and all. I have to paint this yellow now. Here. Blow it in here sort of. And bring it down here, right up the whole van. You see the other side. The cross member is going on here now, so cradle's all sandblasted and painted too. It's all brand new up in there, huh? Okay, so I turn this infrared heater off to show what I've done here. So I have the van primered now, all fixed up. As you can see, nice and neat. Back to factory, standard. And here and everything, all the wee patches is put on here. We stainless is all filled and with fillers, stoppers and a high bulk primer. So you can see, you don't even see the spot welds because I have them all completely invisible. So I'm going to blow the base coat, the yellow now, up this doorpost. This back quarter on the front wing. So that's it. We have a nice stone chip, an inch down from this edge, here. Camera's going to get blurry there. So an inch down from this edge, we have a nice stone chip effect here. It's hard to see. You might see it at the other side. So we're going to blow paint right up to this edge where this panel joins. Doesn't need blowing on here. And these blowing on here, this wing, and this doorpost, and here. So what we'll do is we'll bring the base colour up to here, and then the lacquer on up a wee bit above it. What do you see the lower side? So if you want to see the whole process of putting this sill on, the stainless sill, and completely repairing this back quarter here. So what we have here is we have a nice stainless panel in behind this, shaped by hand, and we have this all built up of steel. It's not full of fillers, as most people would do. It's here, this flange is all stainless and high bulk primer on top of it. There's a wee skim of fillers across here where the spot welds are. But everything else is all sheeted and welded. It's not fillers, as I've stated. So what we're going to do here, we're going to blow the yellow base colour up past this primer a bit. A couple of coats, maybe two coats. And then we're going to blow the lacquer on up. At the top here we have the lacquer's etched a wee bit. The dullness or shines took off it in order for it to stick. So we'll see him with this panel. Blow the paint on up, base colour, and that's it. I will take pictures of the process of doing it. And obviously I don't want to paint with the camera in the garage. I have just put the base coat on. I have 2 coats on at the minute. I'm going to move on to the 3rd coat to hide any wee dark spots. So that's the 3rd coat. The reason the light's purring here is because there's a car in the lift. And I currently have a face mask on, so I blew the paint up the wing, up the doorpost, and up the rear quarter. The other side's exact same. See the infrared heaters on there. Try to keep the blow heater off there because I don't want to raise dust. As you can see, I've wet the floor. So there's the rear quarter, nearly finished, ready for the lacquer. 2 coats of lacquer maybe, but first of all I have to put another coat of base on it. As you can see, I'm wearing a white suit, keeping a fluff coming off my clothes. And that's it, so we'll move on. Hi everybody! Okay everyone, so I have the base coat done on the van, ready for the lacquer. You can see I blew the base coat up to here. I'm going to glue the primer up now. Oh, sorry, the lacquer. What am I talking about? There we go, the base coat complete. So I'll turn the heater off. Okay, so I'll try and make it more clear here. So with the base coat complete up the wings, and up the rear quarter, and up the doorpost, the sills are all painted, the chutes, edge primer, chutes, and then high bulb primer, and the base coat ready for the lacquer. That's it. Okay everyone, so the next stage is to walk through the process of repairing each part of the van. The early stages started off with the sills, so I had to remove the old sills. You can see where the water got in behind the stone chip there and has rotted the old sills away. As can be seen in the videos, the sills was the worst part of the van. However, but the around the strut tires, where the front struts mounted, were bad too. So you can see here the rust, the rot even was quite high up, probably about 40 or about 50 mil from the bottom of the lip to up into the inner sill. So what I done is I completely removed that and made new jacking points. That is demonstrated in the videos already. So you can see at this point there's no rot left in the van. I have completely removed it. Alright, there's surface area rust there, here and there, but that is treated in later stages. Sandblasted and rust treated with a denatral rust treatment. So this is the leftover scrap from the van. You can see how bad it was. I have it all bored off, drilled out properly, so it's not cut off, and you know, all the spot welds is bored off, the manufacturer's spot welds. So this is the outer sill, completely rotten either end, and you know, it wouldn't have been long till the whole thing was falling through right at the bottom. Somebody has previously put a patch on it. This is me now continuing on. So I have the new sill on, ready to be spot welded on, but before that I paint the inside of it, I treat the inside of it. This is the measurements I got there now, just when I put that sill on, for the inner sill. So it's 50 mil deep, it's about 50 mil, 30 mil wide between each them flat surface there. So the point where it is mounted to the van and the point where it be spot welded to the sill is 30 mil wide. At this point I was getting ready to set up the folder to fold these. So this is the inner sill. It is made in 6 pieces, sorry, 3 pieces each side. The reason being, as discussed in the video, is much easier. I don't have a folder that's 2 meters long, 2.5 meters long, or sorry, 8 feet long. So at this point I left a nice wee overlap flange, so I could spot weld these 3 pieces together. So again, this is the inner sill. This will be spot welded to the outer sill, the sill that I bought from Poland. It's an aftermarket part, so it has to be tweeted a wee bit to suit the van, as it's not genuine. So this is a 430 grade stainless, 0 nickel, so it's more liable to rust than 304 or 316, but then again, it's painted now on the van, it will not rust again. So this is me applying weld through primer to the flanges where the spot welder is going to weld through, top and bottom there. Red oxide is applied, and I don't think I applied anything else then. So before I put on these sills, keep in mind that under the red oxide there's a zinc coating on them sills that were supplied from a company in Poland. So at this point I have epoxy resin applied around the flange or spot where the two surfaces meet, two faces, and then I weld through it. I didn't use a spot welder here because there's quite a bit of meat. There's the inner chassis and the outer panel and also it's about maybe 4mm thick, so I just welded through it instead. So this then was grinded flat, and all the spot or the welds there were flattened, and any wee dimples were filled. You will see this in the photos coming up at the end. This is the inner stainless sill, welded up to the top. So at this point it's only tacked. The cross members there in the middle then are tacked to the inner sill. You can see the black epoxy there and the spot welds running up the whole way up the van. Jacking point at the four corners are all fixed and are really strong. So at this point was a much trickier point, well similar to the putting the sills on. I had to cap up the ends of the sills between the inner and external sill. Then, so what I've done here is I used cardboard templates and again left 3 flanges on it, cut out with grinder, fold it in the press brake, small hand folder, and then they were placed into the van again to be spot welded. That is more or less a finished piece. Well, it's not really in position. After this stage I had to build up the rear arches again, where I completely removed the rot that was there. It wasn't that bad, but it was bad enough that I didn't want to put fillers on top of it, as most would do. So what I done is I completely removed it and shaped a new piece to the same radius as the panel coming down towards the sill. At this stage I folded over a sort of a 80 degree, 85 degree bend, and then I shaped it with my hand here to get the same curve as the rear, which used to be there. So obviously I couldn't fold down this edge because of the radius, so I had to tack on a nice neat wee piece. You will see that coming up soon. At this stage I have flanged, nice wee flange to let it fit in nice and neat. So it uses very little fillers when I go to fill it, or stoppers. This is the rear arch in place. You can see the wee fold going in there to the sill or the cap that I made previously. At this stage I am spot welding it to the inner cap and tacked to the nice arch at the top. It's not rotten. As I stated, most would use fillers over the top of wee bubbles that were there, but I didn't want it to come through again, so I changed everything to stainless. This is me making the nice wee corner or the wee flange for the arch, so that sharp edge doesn't exist. You can see how footer it is here. So this needs nicked now every half inch to allow for the curve there. You can see the curve in 2 directions and 2 axes. So down the face and then round the curve of the arch, if that makes sense. I'm sure you understand. This then is tacked on with the MIG gently, so you don't put too much heat into the panels, not melting the paint at the top. So this had to be lined up to the sill at the bottom, as can be seen here, ready for the stoppers, but before that it needed grinded nice and neat. This was a tricky stage, so I wanted to make this stage in one piece. Let me see if we go back to it here. So it is made in one piece, folded in one piece, and then it's set in to cap off, to finish off the actual sill itself at that corner. This is, let me see what this part's for, I'm not sure again. Okay, so here's the part here now that sits in and caps off the whole bottom sill and that arch, so it finishes it off. As can be seen here, I set it in one piece, so there's no huge filling with MIG welds or nothing like that. I don't like that, so if I put too much MIG weld on it, I contaminate the stainless, and you can burn through it for 2 big gaps. So what you want is a nice neat gap right round them 3 edges with the fold. So you can see me here at this point matching the fold to the arch, the upper panel or quarter panel, whatever you want to call it. gaps are minimal as can be seen. This is all filed out by hand, not just using a grinder. You can see the rear arch now can be tacked nice and neat down that edge. You don't want it too straight, so I think I left it, yeah, so I tacked it sort of in the curve, if that makes sense, with the curve there. However, this can be all compensated with fillers in later stages, so it can be to match the upper arch. This is now the driver's side. Yes, this is now the driver's side. Same process again, cap the sill. Then moving on to the arch, the outer face, which then will be spot welded to the cap on the sill itself. And there's azimuth. So here we have the driver's side, the arch, starting to form the arch that I have completely cut away. You can see here at this stage there is not as much arch cut away here because it wasn't as bad as the passenger side, probably because it's nearest the road. Again, this is the edge for the flange going down that side to remove the sharp edge, to bring it back to normal again. You can see the two spot welds. This is then the awkward wee piece was flanged and set in, and one piece, this is the everything seam sealed. After this stage I blasted the whole van, but I'm going to keep talking about this here first for the meantime. That's it, finished, ready to be filled and painted. Lot of work. I'm completely nuts. I go overboard. I don't just plate over the top of rot, I completely remove it. So here we have a couple of patches that were made to the front of the van, just behind the wishbone each side. So basically what I done is I cut off all the rot in the front of the van. It wasn't that much, to be honest, but I cut it off and I completely made new plates that sit inside the chassis. These are spot welded in with epoxy resin. At this stage I'm folding it nice and neat. You can see the cardboard template there. So also, this must be way back at the end of middle of September now. That paint's now destroyed. So you can see here I've completely removed the rot. I've treated it all with rust treatment. You can see it's black there in areas. At this stage this is spot welded in with with epoxy around it, black epoxy. You can see it there in between. It is a nice neat fit. So basically I could have just stuck that patch in there, but I didn't. I spot welded it right around it. You can see there sliding it in. So you can see there where I've grinded it back and a wee bit of surface rust has appeared. That's because of the oil moist weather in this country inside the tent. But I blasted the whole van again. So this is now the rear underbody. So at the back there was also more serious issues. At the back. There's two boxes to the other side, and these two boxes are there sort of for like a breather filter system for the van. They are stepped down on each side between at the corner. You can see there the wood inside the van, so you can see it's in a quite bad state. But before I have removed all the rust here. This is after. Before it was really messy. So what I'm doing here is I'm capping off this back cross member that is now lying open because I removed the big box at the back that was completely rotten. You can see it lying on the ground there a couple of images ago. So this is a cardboard template, removing the end to the stainless template. This is also 430 stainless steel again, so I didn't need to paint the inside of it. And the epoxy is applied right around it. So basically what I do now is I push this, you can see the chassis on there is nice and clean. Cross member, box section's nice and clean inside. So what I do is I cap it and then I blast the whole van underneath. Blast. This is the epoxy resin. It's a special formula that's designed for metal to metal. I don't just depend on that. I spot weld right around it. You can see there that van's in quite a state at the back, but I completely blasted multiple times, and the pictures will show now in a minute the much work I went through to bring this back to life
you could say, because I was going to scrap this van because as soon as I cut the sills off it, I was like, what have I done? So there now, you can see the blaster has brought it up quite well. That is the other side, so this is the passenger side. I also blasted too, and just showing how bad it is. So this is blasted and then treated with Nitro, RC400, really good rust inhibitor stuff. It's £35 as I've stated there, but it's 400ml and a tin, spray tin, and it does a lot. One time would do the front, maybe the whole bottom of that van, because I always put 3 coats on. So this is the van now blasted. You can see it looks quite well. This is a slight, you can see there the rust still, but I give it another blast and then I treat it with that rust inhibitor. It all turns black. Here you can see the plywood and inside, so that's the passenger side. You can see the wiring loom coming down there, the equalizer valve and everything. Axle, everything was blasted. There wasn't nothing left. Obviously the seam sealers there in the van, that's good enough. Moisture or salt has never ever got near it, and probably never will either, but that is left. Left alone. The blaster, the glass points us off it anyway. So we're nearly there now. Not so much to talk about. So you can see here the axle, the rear axle, and everything's blasted. You can see the new sills, everything's on. This axle's not finished yet at this point, but it's getting there. Part 2 of this video will show all the accessories and components all refurbed, everything being powder coated. But at this point, I was focusing on the chassis or the shell. At this point, I was, I don't know, thinking, what have I done? What have I started? Because of the mess the van's in, or the state, the condition it's in. So you can see here now I've applied the rust inhibitor, the whole thing, everything's turned black. You also get hammerite rust inhibitor, but it's, I swear by the Nitro. So at this stage you can see the stone chips applied on top of the rust inhibitor. So I haven't used etching primer or nothing like that. I've used what is it? Nitro, and I've also used Tetrasil stone chip. So it looks quite well now. However, at this stage, just keep in mind all the running gear and all was completely done up after this. The shocks and all, the springs, everything else was done after this. This is just focused on the chassis and painting the actual van. This entire video, I might show clips of other pieces being worked on here, but I'm not going to go into detail on them until part 2 of this video comes out. So at this stage you can see the rear end, the passenger corner is all stone chipped. The axle at this point is not painted. The old drums and all is still on the van. And just getting everything prepped underneath to get it into the garage to do spraying. So at this stage I also painted the tow bar. The tow bar is brand new, but any wee areas where rust was coming through, I treated it and painted it. Blasted it first, only blasted where it was needed with fine grit glass. Okay, so this was a point I wasn't expecting. So the strut tops on top of the suspension assembly at the front was welded to the strut towers, or bulkhead, whatever you want to call it, welded to it with rust. You can see how bad it is here. It is extremely bad, and I couldn't believe it. When I seen this, as I've mentioned already, I was going to scrap the van. But I didn't scrap the van because of the graphics and all the leather, all the work I done inside it. So I just blasted it and cut it all out. I didn't remove everything there, as you can see. All the solid pieces I kept. You can see the sills finished there. So at this stage here, I started. Everything was blasted. You can see all our deep rust was completely removed. It was all replaced with stainless. At this stage it only needs blasted again. It was only a skiff, so there now, blasted completely, and it was all treated with the rust inhibitor. You can see the cross member is in good shape, or the subframe, sorry, is in good shape. You can see I have everything. You can see the ground there is about a 250mm gap. This is the passenger side. Both sides was bad. Really bad. As I say, this van was ready for the scrap metal. But it's in good shape now in the garage, thank goodness. So everywhere was blasted just as it was underneath the van. There may be more pictures off underneath the van yet, just to demonstrate that. So you can see I left nothing untouched. I have everything done. So now we're going to move on here now in these clips, putting plates in. These plates is all stainless, 3mm stainless. Same thing again, cardboard templates. First placed in the position. They are not set on top, they're not overlapped, they are butt joints, everything's butt joints, welded at both sides, and plates running across to strengthen it. We'll see that later on. So a plate runs across this whole thing to strengthen it here. You can see the stainless. You can see I have a bit of the side of the van cut away too and behind the wing to get at this. Because on these Fiat Scudo dispatch vans, they are very hard to get in there to the strut tops, or the strut towers. This is all welded with MIG, no TIG work here. You can see the L bracket welded onto the top chassis that the plate rests on, so it's all quite strong, really strong. It's all out of 3mm. Again, this is just a plate for plating over the top of something here. It's not a structural part, but it's a patch. This is a structural part. You can see the thickness of it there, really thick. 3mm and 2mm was used. 3mm stainless. This 3mm and 2mm stainless is higher grade stainless. That's what I use. I don't use 430 grade heavier gauge. So this is either 316 or 304 stainless. I put a wee curve in this, a wee radius here, you can see it with the hammer. So this again is the strut tower, a plate in the top. I think it's for the back and the passenger side, as far as I mind. This is the old piece. You can see the serious amount of rot. Very thin. Must have went down, I think it was literally half a mil thick, maybe less. On the strut tops, which it should be far more than that, it should be 2. In places where it's not pressed, so on the flat part. So this is the rot, the serious rot of both sides, strut tops, or strut tower tops. You can see it's really bad, so this is the reason I cut it out. Many other people would have just stone chipped over the top of it, and, and roughed it on, but I completely removed it. As I class myself as a nut job, I like work, obviously. I torment myself. At this point I am closing off the passenger side now. The strut tower or bulkhead is all bolted up. The reason I didn't use the plate that I cut out of there is because it was pitted. There you can see the L bracket at the top there, against towards the wing. You can see the plate now with a fold in it, supporting the whole strut tower, so it's strengthening it all. It's all fully seam welded with the MIG, both sides, not just one. It is overlapped at the side, and it is a butt joint at the top. There's the butt joint. This is all blasted again and treated, and then it is done with the stone chip. I believe there's also a rust inhibitor in it. After it is done with the stone chip, it is painted. We'll get that stage in a minute. So this is now the driver's side. You can see the ground again through the whole van. So the first stage is I put on the L piece there to strengthen the whole thing, the whole structure. So then the plate sits on top of the L piece. That L piece is 3mm steel, stainless steel. It is welded to this cross member this side, which is strong to support the force of the strut going up and down. It is, again is a butt joint through this. The reason I do that is because I want the strut top to sit flat again through the face of the inner part there. Off the strut tower, you want the strut top sitting flat, you don't want it rocking about or any big gaps. So again, I used the folder to fold this 2mm stainless. It's quite difficult, you had to put a lot of pressure on it. At this stage, ready for tacking in this stainless plate. You can see that it is coming together rightly at this point. So the passenger side is done, this is now the driver side, as I mentioned. This all was blasted. However, you can see the moisture within a couple of days here hitting that my steel. So what I done is I blasted it again after I've completely welded it. Stainless is not necessarily required to be blasted, but I blasted everything. Before I applied the dinitrol sheets, stone chip, I applied the dinitrol around places where it was a lot of rust, like on there, because there's a rust inhibitor in it, as I stated. So again, this is closing off the driver's side. This was all blasted, painted. Serious amount of work. Like, this is what's going on. Night times, weekends, after any free time. And to be honest, I was ready for I don't know, hospital this stage. You can see here at this point I have it all blasted now. It looks nice and pretty. I wouldn't say pretty, but it looks well. So again, now this is a rust inhibitor. You can see there taking effect on the mild steel. I sprayed it over the top of the stainless and everything. Just sprayed it on where it was required. So this whole van is blasted in areas right up to the radiator and the cross member at the front. This is now the dinitrol stone tip. Everything was seam sealed. And the stone tip was applied. However, I think I applied more seam sealers after this, and then applied another stone tip. So this is another process that I didn't like doing, but it needed to be done. So the wings themselves were rusty at the bottom and the inner brackets. What I done is I give them a wee, I call it a wee quick skift with the blaster. You don't want to hold the blaster on. You want to hold the blaster at a 30-degree angle here, so you're not putting direct force. So you'll dent it. You'll see the dents in it if you shine on the sunlight even. So what I done, not around that bracket, but on flat panels, you would see the. So what I done is I hold the blaster far back at an angle, and then I treated all these wee contaminated or rusty parts with the rust inhibitor again. The dinitrol there, it is there, so I love that stuff. It's 35 pound a ton. And you sometimes hear people saying that rust inhibitor stuff useless, but I can tell you now, it is not useless. That stuff's 35 pound a ton for a reason, and I've been using it since I was since it came out years ago, and I swear by it. So now moving on to the body panels for preparation and paint. So we're nearly finished at this stage. Everything needed to be filled. As I stated at the start of this video, there will be 2 more videos coming, if not maybe 2, maybe 1. But the accessories, calipers and everything will come later. All the new seals, new parts, all the powder coated parts. So this is me now filling the rear arches. Very little fillers was required because of the way that I have it all set together and fabricated. Very little fillers, stoppers even, just enough to fill the wee fine gaps. But you know, enough to shape the arches at the back into their normal form. You will see this now in the final pictures. It looks well. So at this stage I have filled it, Itching primer, well not itching primer yet, filled it here, ready for sanding it. This is sanding it here now with a dual action sander, or maybe a wee hand pad round there around them spot welds. You don't want any leaving any big crevages or holes or dents. So what you do is use the a block, sanding block, or so. At this stage, the itching primer is applied over the top of everything, ready for the body sheet stone chip. So both sides were left at this stage. Underneath the van at this stage was completely stone chipped. You can see there I have taped off a straight line the whole way down the van. That is for the stone chip up the edge of the sill to protect the sill from wee fine stones bouncing up. So they make it look like the factory finish again. You'll see that here now. It looks quite well there now. So the stone chip is about an inch down from the top edge there, and at this stage I primered everything over the top of it all. I give it a scuff with a Scotch-Brite first. A day later, give the whole thing a rub of Scotch-Brite. Not the itching primer, but the stone chip itself. This is now the other side. Is it the passenger side? Yeah, the passenger side. Again, that there is actually Tetrasol stone chip. Really good too. Wouldn't put it in front of Danny Tool, but I would put it second best. This is a now high bulk primer, ready for the base coat. I done as you've seen at the start of this video clips of me walking through painting it, spraying it. You can see the wee fine line with the stone chip there running up the body, nice and neat. Factory finish. All the spot welds are removed and filled. This is not just filled here at this point. You've seen the pictures I demonstrated. This is all properly fabricated. No dodgy welding or patches welded over the top of rotten holes or fiberglass. This is back to high standards again. So at this stage we're ready for the base coat. You can see here that I flattened it, ready for the base coat. So I blew the base coat up into the quarter panels, the door post, and the wing and the front door post. You can see here I've taped off. Just a close up of the primer here with the stone chip. You can see the wee gutted places, the wee bumps. So this is the driver's side, yeah, with the base coat applied. You can see there's no shine there at the minute. Base coat passenger side, and the colour is quite bright compared to the van, but I'm going to bring it up. You know, the graphics sort of break it up anyway, for the length of time I'll have the van. It's only down low anyway, so it's a really good match. Don't know why I'm putting it down. So the base coat's blowing up each the three pillars here, nice and neat. Nice water on the floor to keep any dust rising. At this stage, primer is ready to be, lacquer is ready to be applied. I think it might be applied at this stage. I can't really tell now. You can see there all the running gear is still not touched. This will come in the second video. The second part to this whole process. So we're nearly finished here now. I really hope you enjoyed the video. There was so much detail of fabricating all these parts. You could be plates and putting them in. The second video won't be as boring. It'll be more, not boring, but it won't be as much in depth. It won't be as many photos. It'll be more videos involved in it and different things, such as making the boss for the steering wheel and powder coating wheel jumps, calipers, doing up the calipers, all that sort of stuff like that. In fact, repairing the doors, the sliding doors, repairing the runners, leaving them back to better in factory, powder coated, all the 4 runners, all the hinges, roller, doors, everything was all powder coated. It looks quite well now. I can't wait to get it on the road again. So I hope you enjoyed the video. You can see there the lacquer's applied at this point. And the plastic and all has been removed from the van. If you want to see that carpet and the graphics and all and the leather, the red leather applied in this van and inside, please look up the very first video that came this last summer, the summer of 2021. So at this point I am building the van back together, all the panels and stuff. And that's really it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, as I've said. Please come back next week and there will be another video uploaded of this whole process. My YouTube van, promoting van. So that's it. Thank you for watching, everyone, and Stay safe, and please don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you.